So today I'm shooting a Photoshop tutorial to teach you guys how to do 3 basic functions in Photoshop. First, we'll look at how to make the graphics that's going to display on the title screen here in a minute. Second, we'll look at color pop effects. And 3, we'll look at how to edit pimples on a model. For this tutorial, you'll need 3 things. 1, a working computer, 2, Photoshop CC, and 3, preferably it'd be nice to have a good graphics card so the operations run smoothly.
So to start, we'll just want to open up Photoshop and open up any kind of canvas size and go to the text option on the left side, and there you can choose different kinds of texts, text the path and text selection. Just click text and paste it into your canvas. Drag, paste it, type whatever you want. I personally just chose Photoshop tutorials for the title, and you can mess with the different sizes, you can change the different font family, you can change the font color, you can change a lot of different things. Adobe Photoshop allows you to do a lot of different things. So I just wanted to find a font that was kind of lighter in nature and not so serious, and something that I knew could have a little bit of white background added to it, because as you saw from the title, there was a little bit of white background, and I think that that makes for a good title. Make sure you're not choosing any kind of font that's too crazy or too thin. If it's too thin, you won't be able to get that same kind of white shadow around it like I did. So here I settled on this Hobo font here, and um, go to Windows, click on Workspace, and then you should be able to click on Graphic and Design, and there you'll be able to see a wider range of font options and selections at your disposal, such as kerning and leading, and even just changing the font again or the color. It really opens up a lot of variety to what you can do. So after you settle down on the spacing you want between the text, remind you that if we're putting a white background around this text, you want to have a little bit of leading in between, so there's some room for the white space to go, but just line it up in the center. And I cut ahead, I made it a smart object and deleted the background for transparency, but just open up the layer whenever you get to that point and go to outer glow and increase the size, increase the spread, increase the opacity. Don't really worry too much about noise, but at that point you should be done. That's pretty much it. The only next step is to save it as a PNG file so you can preserve the transparency, and that's it. That's how you make the title logo for this video. So for this next effect, we call it color pop effect, and it'll utilize black and white elements while also utilizing color elements. So the whole picture is going to be black and white, and we're going to just pop out one individual flower. So for my project, I chose sunflowers, so we're going to load the sunflowers. And you can notice on the right side we have these adjustment layers that I'm queuing through, like photo filter, black and white. We're obviously going to stick with the black and white. So whenever you get to the adjustment layer, you can change the different colors within the black and white. So I chose to brighten my yellows and darken my greens, because the yellow sunflowers bright will be good and the dark green stems will give the darker black a little bit more depth. So once we play with the levels of the different colors, you can see here the adjustment layer is defined as this white block here, where the background is the actual picture itself. Make sure you're not in the actual picture itself. Make sure you have the adjustment layer selected, and you can see where I mess up at the beginning here with the actual image selected. I go to brush black and it actually brushes black. But with an adjustment layer, you can click the layer and black will actually reveal the first layer instead of the adjustment layer, which is the black and white color. So to state that again, black reveals the background image, white keeps the adjustment layer. So here we'll just grab the brush tool and we'll paint all of this black. And you can make the size big, you can make the pen a little bit smaller, and as you see, you can erase it by doing white around the edges. So if you find it faster to just paint it all past the lines and then go back to white and make the rest black and white, feel free to do that. But I'll speed up this video now so you can get through quicker. Once you start getting to the end there, you'll start detailing everything up and making sure it looks all crisp and natural. And natural, I say, as a contrast black and white, but I think you know what I mean. So you can zoom out and you can see the final product, and basically from there we're finished. I take it a step further and I go back and I add another adjustment layer just to increase a little bit of the brightness and contrast the image a little bit. I just think that it helps a little bit to make the picture look a little bit nicer. From there, we can just save as like we normally would, except remember if you just came from the first tutorial to change the file type back to JPEG instead of a PNG file, there's no really need to save any transparencies in this one. And then from there, we can move on to our next tutorial. So for this one, we're just going to open up a picture of any old model. You can even use your own picture if you want. And I'll admit that I do this on my own pictures sometimes. You just open it up, you go over to the left side and hit the spot heal brush. And make sure that your pen is the size of the pimple or a little bit bigger. And just tap, and that's all you do. It'll correct the skin tone to the right color and everything. You can do this for anything, pimples, and you can even do it for, say, if you took a picture of a landscape shot and there were some wires in the way or something, you could just draw off the wires. And from there, you just save that as you normally would.